Hey everybody, welcome to week 4 of our economics class. We are 3 weeks done, so good job there. Majority of you doing real good in the discussions and in the homeworks and everything, so that's good. Um, Something I put a new little thingy up here for you just in case, because we had a teacher training meeting this past Friday, and so some topics were brought up that kind of reminded me of some things. Because sometimes we get into this routine, and you as students, you get into a routine. You got these 5-week terms. Some of you fall behind. You kind of lose focus on, why you're why you're doing what you're doing. And so that's why I wrote up this little thing here about, you're not allowed to fail. I mean, because you're doing school for a reason. You have your own personal goals. Right here, where do you want to be in 5 years? You know, and and will you get there? Those things. Because I know some of you have lots of obstacles. All of us have obstacles in our lives that kind of get in our way to stop us from getting where we want to go. So that's why I just want to remind you that, even though there's obstacles, even though there's things that interfere, uh, one, you have to make school part of your life. Most of you have probably heard me say this before, versus just something extra you're doing. There's a few of you that it's something extra, and you need to figure out how to rearrange things so that you can, get this done. Because what I wrote over here is a goal. You want to complete your education. You want to get that degree, but you also want to be proficient in your area of study. Getting the degree is great, but when you go into an interview and the person interviewing you asks a few questions and it's evident that even though you have a degree, you didn't learn anything, that's going to hurt you on your job. That's why I always say you have to put in the time every week. You got to put that 5-10 hours in and learn the material so that you're familiar with it. Because regardless of what you end up doing, uh, you're going to end up applying what you learn in some form or fashion. You may not realize it now, but like I say, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you realize, hey, I'm applying different things, that I'm learning. So anyway, that's what I want to tell you. So your goals are complete your education goal, be proficient in your area of study, and not allow yourself to fail in achieving your goals. So there you go. A little bit of trying to inspire you a little bit. Just stay focused and don't let things slow you down and get in your way, and help you come up with excuses on why you can't get things done. Because this is important, and so it's one of your priorities. All right. So last week, yeah, homework. Everybody's doing good in the homework, and the discussion's good interaction. So I'm gonna jump up here to week 4. Week 4, you got 2 chapters. You got chapters, I think it's 9 and 10. Oops, get up there. Get up there. All right, so we got chapters 9 and 10, and then you got the basic tools of finance. So as always, I tell people, I tell you to, make sure you're learning terms, definitions, concepts of different, things like here. Finance is a field that studies decision making. There's different present value, future value. These are terms, definitions. And there's a lot of other, that goes into formulas. And I realize for some of us, learning formulas is not a good thing. But being familiar with it, and how you come up with things, that's important. So anyway, so like I say, chapter 9 just has a lot on, the finance world. Chapter 10 here deals a little more with the unemployment, how it works from the economic standpoint. How it's measured. You hear about unemployment rates, different things, how the Bureau of Labor Statistics figures out how it works. Who is counted, who is not counted, different things like that. And, employed, unemployed, not in the workforce. One of the things politicians really like to use these numbers sometimes, and that's because most people don't realize how the numbers work. But when politicians brag about, oh, we got low unemployment, that may not necessarily be true. There's things like people who are no longer getting unemployment, or they're no longer being counted because they still haven't got a job after so many weeks or months. So there's lots of factors that go into figuring it, and there's a lot of factors that are left out that can give false information. So you got formulas here for how you calculate it. Um, and what else in here? Population, the ethnic background, different things, different things like that. So there's a lot goes into it. And then you got also like a little chart here, like over the years, male versus female, because there was a time when women didn't work or were not allowed to work. So those statistics, there's a lot of different, a lot of information in here. The other thing down here, okay, there's thing here like discouraged workers. They're giving up looking. People like that don't get counted sometimes in unemployment numbers. Duration. Terms like cyclical, I don't know how to say that word, but anyway, that word there, cyclical unemployment versus natural rate. Those are other things, and so things like this are also like quiz questions. Unemployment rates over the year, like this is the rate. Depending on your own personal situation, you may have noticed back here in 2010, pretty high unemployment. Again, politicians will either not talk about it or talk about it, but again, you got different numbers that go into effect that works on that. So what else? Oh, what's the other one? Unemployment insurance. Oh, there's another one in here. Well, unions. Yeah, unions is another thing. There's a lot of different opinions on that. One of the things here to mention, they make 20% higher wages. Up here, a union worker is an association that bargains with employers over wages. My personal view on it, it's also a way of bullying. That's just a personal view, though, only because I've seen over the years, a lot of places. I used to live in Ohio, up near Youngstown, Ohio, and this was like back in 2003 or 4, so not too long ago. And the city contracted a company out of Cleveland to come in and pave the streets. That company ended up not paving the streets because their equipment got vandalized, they got picketed, and ran out of town. Now this is something you see in a movie that was made for the 1930s or something, but still happening. So there's issues or opinions, however you want to call it. And one of the so here I think we have here insiders, outsiders, and they mention in here the critics and the advocates. So here's the reasons. Because one of the things to do is to raise wages above the what the natural rate is for particular jobs. But then what they say down here, the advocates, they counter market power. And now I will agree that years ago there was no government agencies, there was no federal laws about labor laws and things like that. So what the union does now versus what they did years ago, there's, like I say, anyway, there's agreements or disagreements on that, so good or bad. But anyway, okay, enough about that. Okay, so anyway, a lot in here, both chapters. So there you got that. Again, on the homework, same thing. We're doing the the questions. So everybody's been finding the questions and doing those good. So that's good. There's also the research component for this week that you're supposed to get done. And this is where you you're right here. Okay, 1 to 2 pages. This supply curve part here is create a supply and demand graph. That does not have to be anything really, really detailed. All right, I'm just letting you know. Simple graph. You don't have to go into a whole lot of detail on that. And if you got troubles with it, just let me know, and we'll figure it out and get you through it. So, all right. And I think that's everything for this week. So, sorry if I got rambling a little bit there. Yeah, so that'll do it for this week. And so good. Everybody's doing great. If you got any questions, let me know. Don't forget what your goal is in this course, and then just going after your degrees and diplomas. So with that, I will let you go. Get in touch if you need anything. Use the Canvas system. Everybody's using that now, so that's a good way to get in touch. And let you go. So have a great week, everybody, and get in touch if you need anything. Bye. And almost forgot my little test picture. So there you go. And that's me, by the way. So that was it. Take care. Bye.